we're going to start just with an introduction here. We're not going to get too far today. But we're going to start with the endocrine system. And really, the endocrine system is somewhat related to the nervous system. They're both important for communication within the body, sort of using different means of doing that. If you remember back, the nervous system, what did it use to get a message from one place to another?
Nerves.
Nerves. What kind of impulses? Electrical impulses. Use electrical and chemical impulses to transmit information down the neuron. Well, the endocrine system also can transmit information in a way, but it does it using a chemical messenger that's called a hormone. So the endocrine system is a system of ductless glands. It means they don't have tubes to carry these hormones throughout the body. They send their hormones directly into the bloodstream. So that's what the endocrine system is. A system of glands that secretes chemicals that we call hormones into the bloodstream. Yeah, and so we have an endocrine system, and it consists of many different glands. So if we look at these diagrams, okay, in males, testes are endocrine glands. In females, ovaries are endocrine glands. In both males and females, there's the thyroid gland in the throat, the pituitary gland in the brain, the adrenal glands, which sit atop the kidneys. There's a whole series of different glands that each produce specific hormones that help regulate how our body functions. So these hormones, the word itself means to excite, because these hormones, what most of them do is they sort of increase the functioning of a certain part of the body. Okay, they're chemical messengers that cause various things to start happening. We'll talk about some examples of various glands and different hormones and what their effects are. Do you learn about all the glands and all the various hormones? Okay. All right. So the hormone levels. For example, a hormone in your body would be insulin, or adrenaline, testosterone, estrogen. These are all various hormones, and the level of those hormones are controlled by something that we call a feedback system. And a feedback system is what turns the glands and the hormone production on and off. Now, a good example of a feedback system, to help you understand what it is a thermostat in a room. So let's just talk about that for a minute. You know, at your house, or in this room, for example, this is the thermostat of the room. What does it regulate?
The temperature.
Yeah, the temperature of the room. So just like a gland in your body, the gland of the endocrine system can regulate some aspect of your body. Just like this thermostat regulates the temperature of this room. So it keeps the temperature of this room, let's say 68. Now does it do that by producing heat? Does heat come out of this, warming up the room? No. What does it actually, what happens?
Turns on the heaters. It sends an electrical current.
Yes. It sends an electrical signal to what, Jackson?
To the heaters.
To the heater. So it's connected to the heater using electrical signal. So this is constantly monitoring the temperature of the room. When it sees that the temperature of the room has dropped below, let's say 68, it sends an electrical signal to the heater in the back of the room, and this signal tells the heater what? Turn on. The heater turns on, produces heat, and what happens to the temperature of the room?
It rises.
It rises. When it gets above 60, let's say it gets to 70, what does the thermostat do then?
It cools it down.
Yeah, well, does it send cold air on the room?
No, it's the electrical signal.
It sends a signal to the heater telling it what?
To cool down.
Not quite,
No. Turn on.
because we don't have air conditioning. It just tells it to turn off.
We don't have air.
And then the temperature starts coming back down again.
Dies.
Okay, so this works based on this feedback system where it monitors the conditions in the room, temperature in this case, and it sends signals to another piece of equipment, the heater, to turn on or turn off which can regulate the temperature. So without actually producing any heat, it can still regulate the temperature of the room. The same is true of our endocrine glands. They can produce hormones, that's like the electrical signal, to turn on or to increase the function of certain parts of our body or to lower it down. Okay? So even though our pancreas doesn't add sugar to our blood, for example, it can control our blood sugar by using these hormones to do different things. And all of this hormone control helps to maintain homeostasis. And that's a word, again, an important word, and we've talked about it in our last unit. Homeostasis is keeping conditions constant, keeping a balanced state within the body.
Haven't we talked about this in all the units?
Yeah, we sort of keep coming back to it. And as you go on in science, when you get to like living environment, you'll talk a lot about homeostasis, it's an important topic. Just as maintaining balance, keeping conditions at the right level.
In high school, do we have to take science?
Yep.
Oh.
All right, so if we think about this slide, so our endocrine system works using these basic principles. First off, just the definition. A hormone is a chemical messenger. It's a chemical, it's like a protein usually, that goes, it's made in our glands, and it's sent into the bloodstream. So circulating around in your bloodstream are a whole variety of hormones at all times. And sometimes, no, they just do different things. Sometimes the level of certain hormones goes up, sometimes it goes down depending on conditions within your body. Your glands send these hormones into the blood, they go to certain parts of your body, and then they sort of tell that part either turn on, work harder, or do something. It causes some action to take place in another part of their body. Okay, so even though your adrenal glands, for example, are located on top of your kidneys, they're located there, but when they release adrenaline into your blood, that has effects on your brain, on your heart, on your digestive system, has effects all throughout